the one thing about Jennifer is she comes up to you and she goes, have you tried contacting this person to maybe, like this was a life coach, to maybe see if you could talk to this set of group? And he goes, this is coming from my bookkeeper who thinks about how to help me get sales. He goes, that's not normal. And it's because I genuinely care about their business. It's not about getting the money in the door or just data entry and let's get their books correct. I want to make sure everything in their business is running smoothly because I want them to be successful, because that's how I feel that I've been successful.
You're listening to The Successful Bookkeeper with your host, Michael Palmer. Listen each week as inspiring guests share their secrets of success to help you increase your confidence, work smarter, and build a business you love. This episode of The Successful Bookkeeper is brought to you by PureBookkeeping.com, the proven system to grow your bookkeeping business.
Welcome back to the Successful Bookkeeper Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Palmer, and today's show is going to be an awesome one. Our guest is the president of Sensia Accounting and Business Solutions. She has over 14 years of experience providing financial bookkeeping in the public and private sectors, covering a broad range of industries and a breadth of expertise in different financial disciplines. Jennifer Walsh, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for having me.
I am so happy to have you. You were nominated at the Institute of Professional Bookkeepers conferences for an award, and I had an opportunity to speak with you before that award was presented, and I absolutely loved your business journey story. And before we get into that, well, I'd like to actually start with that and have you share your career journey leading up to this point.
Oh, absolutely. It's a little bit of a long one, but it pretty much, started off a long time ago. I had a really great mentor. I worked in a hotel who taught me not everything I need to know about accounting, but she gave me a really good start. And I enjoyed it so much, I decided to pursue a career in it. So I went back to school in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I got my business admin diploma in accounting with honors and graduated. And unfortunately, during that time, there just was not a lot of work. So I did some bookkeeping and taxes on the side, but I also ended up getting my nursing. So I was a nurse/bookkeeper. So I kind of had dual roles. And then when I went back to Calgary in 2012, it was a huge opportunity to get back into what I really love doing, which is accounting and helping people. Unfortunately, because I'm not a designated accountant, the jobs were limited. It was junior level. And finally, when the downturn happened in 2015, I had enough and said, that's it. I'm going to make this jump and go on my own and do my own bookkeeping business. And that's what I did. And from there, it's been an up and down battle. So we've been incorporated full-time since January 2016. Had no idea how to run a business. I think that's a general consensus with anybody starting. Thought I knew, and I thought it was going to be easy, right? I was like, oh, I'll get the freedom. Yeah, no, that is a different story. End up working 50 to 60 hours a week and weekends. That doesn't happen so quickly. So I was working from my home office at the time, and I really didn't get out networking because I didn't really know about it. And I went to my very first networking event where I met a bunch of people and actually built some relationships with them. Ended up moving into a virtual office, and the sky was the limit. I ended up building my business from 5 clients to 105 clients within a year. And a lot of them were within the building, the Workshare building that I worked, and I continue to grow. I'm about 165 now, and that is with tax and bookkeeping clients. And we're trying to really jump on board and change the future of bookkeeping with offering a full-on virtual package so that we can get out there and serve communities and business owners anywhere in Canada. It doesn't have to be in Calgary. I'm so passionate about what I do that I really want to be able to show my skill and help others achieve financial success within their business.
Well, that really came across when I spoke to you. You're passionate about what you do for people, small business owners, and that I love that. I think it's very honorable to do that, and as well, you're passionate about being successful for yourself. You faced a ton of challenges growing your business, and it's remarkable what you've accomplished in your lifetime. It's I can't not be inspired by you going back to school, doing 2 different jobs, coming across the country, and then starting a business in a place that you were not originally from. I mean, I've heard it all. I've heard all the excuses. You've had all of the problems, but yet you persevered and you were successful, which I think anyone can do if they have the desire, passion, and persistence to go out and do it. But there are going to be challenges. Like you said, it's not all rosy growing a business. Tell us about some of those challenges.
I think one of the biggest challenges I had is what a time to start a business in the middle of a bad recession.
That's not a great time.
It's not a great time, but you know what? Surprisingly, I did fairly well compared to other people who tried to go out. I've heard all of the stories. So that was probably the biggest challenge, is really getting my name out there. Also, you're competing against, Calgary's not a small city. It's a big city. You're competing against a lot of bookkeepers and people who may feel that they're bookkeepers because they worked in, APs or something like that and really don't have the experience behind them. So you're competing with that. How do you make yourself stand out? So for me to be able to do that, to allow myself to be noticed by others, is I'm a people person. I went out and I networked. I networked until my feet hurt, and I built up connections. Some of these connections that have become my clients have also become close personal friends, and I'm known within the business community now. You say my name, they're like, oh, that's Jennifer with Cynthia Accounting. Yeah, I know her. She's fantastic. So it has been a huge benefit that way. For me, some of the other challenges I had was when you start getting to that point where you got lots of clients coming in, you're only one person, can't do it all. So you start hiring, and then that doesn't work out. The skill set isn't where it should be. I got told I hire with my heart. So instead of the actual experience and really making sure that the person grasps the understanding of bookkeeping and what my clients need. So that was a huge struggle. I made that mistake, unfortunately, twice, and it cost me thousands of dollars. And from there, my husband has joined. He's an accountant, has joined the business as well. And it's just him and I right now. But we're making it work, and it's being successful, and we're starting to really follow the process of the pure bookkeeping. We're starting to follow like where we should be, when we should start hiring. Let's get our clients on a virtual package. Let's make things simple for them. And also, I'm a huge fan of The Successful Bookkeeper, huge fan. Read the book. I really resonate a lot with Debbie Roberts on her struggles. And it's almost like she was telling my story. So there was a lot of challenges, but we persevere and we get through it. And the summer was probably the hardest one, with just everything dropping. And it was kind of like, whoa, what's going on? I have employees to pay and all that. But we got through it, and now we're back rocking and rolling again.
It's amazing how difficult staffing can be. It doesn't matter what business you're in. When people are added to the formula, there's a lot that can go wrong, and it's extremely costly. Not only are you having to train people, spend all the time finding them, training them, getting them up to speed. If they don't do the work right, you have to spend a lot of time fixing that work. And that's the least of what can go wrong. There's all the implications of how that can impact your business and as well your client's business. How did you deal with that when you had staffing challenges?
I will be honest, I did not deal with it very well. I got really scared because it started to really reflect in the work and the clients. With QuickBooks Online, having access to these online resources, the clients are able to view their information a lot quicker than before if it was on desktop. So they were able to see what was going on. And every now and again, I would get a text or email Jennifer, what the heck is going on with my books? Why are my books looking like this? I don't understand. Why? What are you doing? You're a lot better than this. So for me, hearing this from clients who have given me the trust of their finances, of their business, I really took it hard. It was really hard on me. So we've basically remapped that, okay, maybe me hiring employees is not my strong point. My strong point is business development and the bookkeeping. The hiring of staff, strong point is my husband, operations, and all of that. So what we've done is we switched up the roles, and he's going to be in them. We put checklists together, things of criteria of what we want, what they must have, and how it's going to be checked on a regular basis. You can't always blame the bad employee, because sometimes it could be things like we were really swamped and I didn't get a chance to really do the review. So that accountability lies on me, right? So it's making sure that we have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed. We're going to be implementing assessments for them so that when we are interviewing them, we know, okay, they are saying the skills that they have on paper is exactly what they have. So those are some of the things that we're doing to rectify those challenges so that we don't feel that way again, because the fear of wondering how your clients are going to react and if they're going to stay with you or not is not a good feeling.
That's absolutely right. Well, I love it. It sounds like you're doing it the way now that it will bring much more success. And listen, the unfortunate part of life is that we get better at it through time, and no different in business. As we make mistakes and learn from those mistakes, we're able to battle on. And we can't be excellent at everything. You are excellent, however, at bringing in new business. Share with me, you said you're an amazing networker. Share with me how a typical day in the life of Jennifer Walsh when you're going out to network with people in the community.
I'm part of an organization of BNI as well. So I go out weekly, network with them, and outside of that, for me, I find when you go to a lot of these networking events, it's like a spray and pray. Spray your business cards, hope that somebody's going to contact you. But at the same time, it becomes very sell pitch. So what I do, like when I go out networking, I actually listen. I do the active listening, listen to the client's needs, think of all the different ways I can help them, not necessarily in bookkeeping, but in other ways, because I have so many different resources of people in other professions that could help them that I trust, right? So it's really more so getting to know them. I get to know about their business, why they love their business, what are the struggles they're having. And that conversation, they enjoy talking to me so much that they want to book a one-to-one and have a further discussion with me. Does it mean I'm going to bring them on as a client? Not necessarily, but it allows them to know that I care. I truly care about their business. And that's how I have helped, build some of my clients' businesses as well as bring new businesses in. One statement I can remember from a client that he made is, the one thing about Jennifer, she comes up to you and she goes, have you tried contacting this person to maybe, like this was a life coach, to maybe see if you could talk to this set of group? And he goes, this is coming from my bookkeeper who thinks about how to help me get sales. He goes, that's not normal. And it's because I genuinely care about their business. It's not about getting the money in the door or just data entry and let's get their books correct. I want to make sure everything in their business is running smoothly because I want them to be successful, because that's how I feel that I've been successful.
Beautiful. I think that's words and advice to live by. If you simply just put others in front of you and make it about them, it gets really easy. And I know that networking for many is difficult. And you've done a great thing, which is join BNI, Business Networking International, which is a fantastic organization, very effective. We've had Ivan Meisner on the podcast, and he is just brilliant. So anyone who's interested in learning more about networking, Ivan Meisner, BNI. It's a great place. Almost every community has a BNI. Check it out. It's fantastic. But I think with you've made it accessible because you're leading with your passion and your desire, your true desire to help other people.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned you're a fan of the E-Myth Bookkeeper. The book. You read the book and your Debbie's story. What was it about the book that helped you on your business journey?
I think the biggest thing is realizing that you're not alone. Other people go through the same struggles, right? You want to try to be very good at your job. You want to make sure, well, not that a job. This isn't a job to me. This is my livelihood. This is my business. And hearing her story and basically on how, she did kind of what I did, worked tons of hours, doing it by herself, having bad luck with staff. A lot of things were very, very similar. And it was like, it's like a breath of fresh air to know somebody else experienced the same thing who's across the country. And it makes me wonder how many other bookkeepers are feeling that way. I know for myself, I've actually brought a couple on that I've met under my wing, and we just have weekly chats. If they're not sure about something, about what they should do in their business, they'll call me. And I'm not an expert in any means, but I know what works, and I'm still learning myself. I've only been in business for 3 years, and I'm always learning and always wanting to learn more. So just Debbie having that courage to put her processes in place and be able to push through the bad stuff that happened and just overcome it, and now look at where she's at. It's inspiring.
Yeah, thank you for being a supporter of the book and the journey. It's evident when I've looked at your business that you're someone who is completely passionate about your business. One of the things that identifies that is your website. You have an incredible website, I think, aesthetically pleasing, very clear messaging. Do you want to share the story of how you came about having such a great website?
I am very lucky when it comes to my marketing. And the reason why is the person who did my website is actually my brother. And we worked very timely on what my vision was and how I wanted my website to be. It was something that was very important to me, that I didn't want it to be just about, bookkeeping and accounting. It's boring. It's not exciting. How do you make it exciting, right? So what I really wanted to do is put it out there as something that was relating to the clients. And fitness is a relation. So that's where I kind of came up with my theme and thought, okay, you know what? Everybody wants their books to be in a fit way. So how can we do what we do best on bookkeeping and accounting and really transpose that to something in the web world, looking me up? And that's what we did. I worked with copywriters. I worked with my brother, who is my web designer, and we're constantly changing and improving it to really bring more traffic, also to really put a piece of me in it. Purple is one of my favorite colors. So there was no question that when the Sensia came up, that purple had to be it, because that is who I am. I love purple, and it needed to represent me.
I love it. It's hats off to you and your brother on it. You've done a fantastic job. I think it's important to put your personality into your business, and you're doing that all over the place, and it's why you likely have so many clients. You have a ton of clients. I'm sure many listeners right now are wondering, how do you make it all happen and keep it all together?
Oh, it's a lot of processes for sure. I have workflow systems. I have calendars all over one main calendar that's highlighted with my different clients for when things are due, because I have anything from monthly clients to quarterly clients to annually clients. So it's keeping track and remembering, first of all, when year-end dates are, because you want to make sure that you get right on top of that right away. For example, I've got several coming up October 31st. My letters have already been sent out to remind people, and the processes have started. So it's a matter of really kind of keeping myself organized. And there's times where I fail at that, but I find if I don't have those processes in place, I'm all over the place. I have no idea what's going from one minute to the next. So I have to have a schedule for when I do payroll for clients, when I do taxes, when I do their monthly bookkeeping. Some clients I have to do their bookkeeping once a week because they're a little bit bigger. So it's really managing that workflow system. And I actually use, just in QuickBooks Online, free workflow system that I use to manage everything, to manage when things are due, know when things are due, and it's incorporated with my Slack account. And then it pops up, it reminds me, oh, Jennifer, you have to do this. And between my husband and I, we just go at it.
It's exciting to hear it, and you're making great use of it. You've also, as I mentioned, nominated for an award with the Institute of Professional Bookkeepers. What was that like?
Oh, that was so unexpected. I honestly didn't know that was going to happen. I don't even know how I was nominated by my clients. I didn't even know that they did it until I got the email. And honestly, when I got the email, I typed them back. I said, "Are you sure? Are you sure it's not somebody else?" Because I knew nothing about it. So it was such an honor. Of course, you want to win, but you know what? I'm 1 in 10 of Canada who is nominated. That's a huge thing, and by my clients, which is even huger because it means that they appreciate what I do for them and that I've changed something in their business and something to make their business better, and they're thankful for that. So that to me is the greatest gift, that even they took the time to send in a nomination, and it just meant more than anything to me. And there's always next time, but I'm still 1 in 10 vice bookkeepers in Canada nominated. So I'm happy.
Congratulations on it. And it really is a testament to who you are in business. The fact that someone that is your client actually took the time to get out there and nominate you, it's fantastic. It really does show. You know, if you were going to give advice to our listener, they're in various levels of their business, from startup to, just getting a bunch of clients to, being full up, maybe even tearing their hair out, or even, having a really large business. We have all sorts of listeners. What advice can you give to them in growing their business?
I think the biggest thing is have patience. Trust the systems, use your processes, talk to other bookkeepers. A lot of people think right away, well, I don't want to talk to another bookkeeper because they're my competitor. They're not your competitor. Use them as your allies. I have several strategic partnerships with many different bookkeepers. Some, refer business back and forth. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just go out and have a glass of wine and talk and give suggestions on different things that we do. Have that group, because nobody will understand what you do better than a bookkeeper. So use them as your support system. If you know somebody who's been doing it for quite a long time and you're a startup, and you have no idea, get in touch with them. Contact them. I recommend you contact me. I'm more than willing to give any advice to help somebody, because I wish I had someone when I started and I didn't. So having that mentor or support system is very, very important. Make sure that you have that, because if you don't, you will crash.
It's fantastic. It's so wonderful having people like you in our community. You're so generous. I think that's one of the key reasons you're so successful in your business. You're generous with your customers. You're generous with the community and your peers. Competitors are not your competitors. They're your allies. It's very refreshing. I encourage people in our community to reach out and connect with you, Jennifer. You're such a wonderful person, and I thank you for the work that you do.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast. Is there anything you'd like to share in terms of how people could get in touch with you or reach out to you?
Yeah, they can get in touch with me via my website. At the email address and contact form is there. They're more than welcome to reach out at any time, and I'll be happy to, have a chat with them.
Beautiful. And we'll put that link right into the show notes for anyone who's interested to have a look at your website and as well get in touch with you. Jennifer, this has been great.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
The pleasure is all ours. And with that, That wraps another episode of the Successful Bookkeeper podcast. To learn more about today's wonderful guest and to get access to all sorts of valuable free business building resources, you can go to thesuccessfulbookkeeper.com. Until next time, goodbye.
You've been listening to The Successful Bookkeeper with Michael Palmer. For more information and to download the resources mentioned in this episode, please visit us at thesuccessfulbookkeeper.com. Thank you for listening.